Hello, everybody. I am Sun Psychic Jean, and look who I have with me here today, Mark the Spirit Whisperer. Hi, Mark.
Hi, Jean. Hi, everybody. Heidi
I
ho.
I love your shirt today, and that is so retro. It's
Uh,
like the Jetsons.
Little spaceships and rocket ships and little like weird atomic signs and stuff. Yeah, it's cute. Thank you.
Beautiful, wonderful. I love it. And I just want to say hello to everybody. Thank you all for coming by. We are here. We're going to be doing readings for you today. But in the meantime, I wanted to tell Mark a little bit about the show I did with Allie yesterday. Allie was on my channel and we were talking about love language. You know
Cool.
how service is a love language or words of affirmation is a love language. It was very informative, and a lot of people were showing in the chat what they love, like little
Yeah.
surprises, little things,
Right.
that they love, make them feel loved. Hmm. And some is touch. Some people need hugs. Like if your spouse walks in and walks right by you, you're like, "Where's my hug?" That that's a love language. And everybody really enjoyed the discussion. It was an interesting show. Yeah. Um, so I just want to say hi. Andy Moore is here. J.M. Wallace, Angela, Viviani is here. Hi, Viviani. And Sweet Farish. Emily is here. Jennifer Johnson and Sandra. So nice to see everybody. So we also have a wisdom circle on the Crone Zone coming up on Monday at 4 o'clock. And we're going to be talking about can we love our enemy?
Yeah.
I know, I know. And it's a spiritual concept. And I learned this a while back when I had a manager who was just horrible to me, really, really abusive and horrible. And she really made my life so difficult. And I was listening to a book on tape or on audio, and it said that we should thank our enemies, and because they are the ones who show us our strength, and without them, how would we know how strong we could be, you know and I couldn't believe that. It was so profound, and it changed my perspective ever more. So I think it might be along those same lines. Hi, Brady. Hi, Gina M. Hi, Suzanne. Hi, Christine. LP. So nice to see everybody. Robert says, just got here. Just got here. Hi, Robert. Nice to see you. You're so cute. Just got here. If anybody would like to have a reading today, please do put your questions in caps and use emojis. We'll do the best we can to keep up, and all the questions will be chosen at random. So look at everybody saying hello. Christine R. Okay, Annie, I see you. Brady. So, Mark, what's been coming up on your channel? What's been going on?
Same old, kind of. You know, that thing you just saying about can you love your enemies? Um, I'm not so sure about it. I think it's not a good idea to hate your enemies. So I'll try not to. For me, I tend to just not think about them at all rather than try to pile on or whatever. So I don't spend a lot of time cursing them or wishing them harm or anything. At the same time, I don't really send them a lot of love energy either because there is this thing I heard ages ago called don't cast your pearls before swine. And I do have that feeling that sometimes that's a waste of my energy because they didn't ask for it. They don't want the clarity. They haven't asked for it. So who am I to foist it on them? I just feel like use my love where it does good and just don't I don't give them a lot of attention. And when I've had nasty bosses and stuff and I'm in that thing of, oh, I wish they would just drop or what, they're so nasty. for me, I got to the point of, Mark, you just need to let that go and not be in like a mental battle with them about something. You know, is that important that they're like controlling you in your thoughts and things? And so for me, it was to try to learn to let that go, because then I worried about, well, you know, I always, you should just love them and down with the bit, but then it doesn't resonate. I don't feel like it does. It's doing what people say is supposed to do, you know. Because I've gotten that a lot with over the years with, you know, the Oompa Loompa. Well, we should just love him anyway. Well, not really. If you're unlovable, go ahead and be that way. But I don't have to give you my energy. That's the way I feel about it. It's like, okay, fine, good. Go be with God. Do you? I'm not really playing in that realm, you know. And plus, you didn't come to me and ask me for anything anyway. So it's not like, on some level, it's none of my business, kind of. Unless I'm making it my business, which is spending a lot of time in my head, you know, fighting this person, you know, that I don't like, rather than don't even give them the time of day. Just let that go. Why are you even? You realize that the two of you don't resonate for whatever reason, and no matter how much you would like to make it better, it doesn't seem like it ever. The person's just not into it or whatever, you know. So on some level, I'm just saying for me, I'm not talking about anybody else. It begins to feel like, well, that's kind of a waste of my time and energy. I don't know if I need to focus on that anymore. Anyway, that's just me.
I see your point, and it makes a lot of sense. And they say, you know, and it reminds me of Dr. Emoto, where he had that rice experiment where you would love, love, love one, hate, hate, hate one, and then ignore one. And the one you ignore was the worst, because ignoring is worse than hating. Hating is at least attention. It's negative attention, but it's attention. And they don't know the difference between positive and negative. Now, the loved one was, you know, pure white and stayed good. The hate one got a little brown and a little murky, but the ignore one got black and had mold growing on it. You know, like it's amazing, and they've done it over and over and over, and they can reproduce that same outcome every time. Hmm.
Well, I also know that just in my own life too, it's not great for me to go offering my energy and my opinion to people who haven't asked for it. So I'll get myself in trouble that way sometimes, of going, I'd like to help this person out of their situation. And they're like, I didn't ask you to help me out of my situation. I'm enjoying I like the mold. You know, I'm becoming an expert with mold. And so for me, I'll just go, okay, good, go do it. That's fine. I don't want to spend a lot of my energy in that. It's the same thing. It's kind of like why I feel like I've been guided to ignore the news,
Mm.
even though it's hard. And if I even just accidentally, if his face comes up, I immediately go into a tailspin, like, you know. So for me, it's better just to not engage, or and not, you know, because I've had this comment, just offer them love, you know. Well, fine, it's not my job. That's not, or it could be maybe, but I'm not taking that job. That's not what I want to do. I'll offer love to those that want it. If someone comes to me, I'll say, well, you might choose love, but it's up to them. You know, I just feel like it doesn't do me personally. Like when I'm working on manifestation, I learned that I need to let go of things that don't serve a positive outcome. And so, and I'm attached to it because somebody told me to be attached to it, is what I realize sometimes. And I have to just choose for myself. Well, I don't need to do that. I can choose where I put my energy and where I don't. And so I always just go, what's still my choice? And it's not like that I'm wishing you ill. Although I was just
Right.
saying yesterday that never in my life has there ever been a person that I have to not wish ill to, so hard that I have to just really, oh boy. And, I was saying to somebody yesterday, and I know I don't even like to say this, but if he, I'm not wishing it, but if he were to drop today, it would be kind of hard for me not to do the dance of joy. So, it's like, and that don't sound very nice and loving, but I'm also, I'm tired of it. I'm exhausted of it. I don't need to look at it anymore. And so I just need to change the channel, kind of a thing. That's where I am, kind of. And I try all the time to be as kind and loving as I can be. And that's also with, supporters of that team hate. But even with that, I've found family members and friends who are so into it. I can't be around them. It's better for me just to disconnect than to try to reason or anything. So anyway, that's just me.
So this isn't a direct question, but it's a question that I think is important. Hi, Gilberta. Thank you for being here. Gilberta, sorry. I'm still afraid of presenting myself authentically. Is that really blocking my success? What
Probably
say you?
it's probably some relation to it. But you become more authentic as you move along. It's like everything, you just keep evolving more and more. So I think you can be successful and not be completely authentic because you don't even know, so I don't know that they're exactly one does the other. If you feel like you could be more authentic, then seek to be that, just be who you are, and sometimes like being authentic is like what I just said about not giving love to people I don't like or whatever, not loving the hate away or whatever. For me, that's just me, my feelings, and authentically me. I tried to pretend other ways and stuff, but it just don't work for me. And like when people have said, Mark, you need to be, send him up. Thank you for sharing. But no, I don't, so I have to just still stick with that until I learn that don't work and, change my mind again. But I still have to try to present my truth as, as clearly as I'm able to.
What I think is that there is a happiness and a joy that only comes from your authenticity. And you can be authentic in your personal life and then be the manager with all the, right answers at work. But and you don't have to it's there's boundaries and there's guards and there's different levels of intimacy, but being authentic and honoring yourself brings a certain type of joy into your life and the happiness. So you can be successful, but will it make you happy? I think when we are authentic and successful, that it brings us closer to that joy, closer to that, a little bit more inspiring. And it's almost like you're in with the flow. If you're authentic, you don't have to try. You don't have to, you just go with the flow. You follow yourself naturally. You don't have to think, oh, wait, are they supposed to know that I only wear hats at home? It's less filtering and figuring out who you are, and it's more of a flow. I think it's an ease to it.
I agree
But
with that.
everybody's got a little bit of that where they are here or there.
Well, and plus on some level, maybe it's most important for you to be authentic with yourself more so than with everybody you meet during your day, because sometimes it's none of their business about something. So you don't, I'm not going to go around at the store sharing all my metaphysical woo-woo with everybody. I'm not going to go on with this. But me at home, I'm very much into that. So, but I agree with you. And I was going to say that earlier too. The more authentic you are with yourself, really the more love you experience. I agree with that part, because it's not so much about blocking success, but you can block the amount of love and joy you have in your life. I think, just the more you realize your own truth, the more you're living in that love realm, I think, anyway, and we're all changing all the time. None of us are perfect. We have things to, figure out and change. And so what might have been really authentic 2 years ago isn't anymore. You know what I mean? Because you've grown past that. That's not a thing that you're still, dealing with so much. So I don't know. You just got to be you and don't worry about what everybody thinks about it, kind of.
That's right. That's right.
What everybody thinks is none of your business. You just do you.
Yep. All the best to you, Gilberta. Thank you for coming. It's so nice to see you. And Floating Space Kitten is back, and she says, I'm sneaking here during work.
Uh-oh.
But I'll never forget you, Floating Space Kitten, when we had that synchronicity with Mark's shirt. I'll never forget it. It blew my mind.
Just got that cute little kitty cat up the tree that's like on one of my cards too.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I see okay, mystery caller Sean, and just say hello if I call your name. And then after mystery caller is Brady. And after Brady is Michael Dell. Okay. And I just wanted to shout out to Daniel. Hi, Daniel. Nice to see you. If you tell people to come here and see us and ask a question, please let us know. I feel like he has somebody that he wants to ask a question.
Okay.
So Daniel, say, choose Michael, or whatever.
Okay, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if you guys are referring somebody and they're here in the chat, make sure you tell us. Okay, so Mr. Caller says
so many more questions than we can address. So, when it's hard to choose, that's maybe the hardest thing we have to do, because we don't really like to choose, kind of, because, we love everybody equally, and you don't want to be unfair or try to be favorites or anything like that. So I always say, just when you come, you probably won't get your question read. So, it's sort of like, so you won't be so disappointed. Now you might, you never know, but give us a break that it's hard to pick and choose, you guys. And it has nothing, it's never personal. I know that Jean's exactly the same. We love each and every one of you. It's just a matter of getting it, is picking. So when we say random, that's the truth. It's random.
I'm going to pull away 1 second and just, Gilberta wanted to respond. Thank you. I agree that we don't have to send everyone love and light. He who shall not be named chooses his path. I choose to send the space. All right. I thought that was your feedback. I'm so sorry I didn't read it. Sorry about that.
No, I like that sentiment though.
Yeah. Oh,
thanks, Leona. It's kind of like if you have a relative who's really into drugs and they're careening off, you sometimes have to let them go. You can't, no matter how much you say, I'm going to love you into being well, it doesn't do it unless it's them. They, like you say, he chose his path. He chooses it every single day. There's never a time when he acts like he might be considering some other way of doing it. His way is to bully you, period. So if you like to be around a bully, great. But if you don't. You know what I mean? And plus, people choose their own path. That's the way it goes. And I've been through that so many times where, oh, Mr. Loving Mark, I'm going to try to help you through your traumas. And it always ends up kind of with egg on my face, because you have to ask for it in order to receive it. And so I know, like, I'll go, oh, I know this will be so much better for you. And I love you so much. And I want you to be happier. Would you please take this guidance and advice? And they'll go, no.
You have to allow other people to learn their spiritual lessons the way they intend to learn them, you know?
You don't help them by cursing them. That's why I think sometimes neutral's better. If you're kind of confused by it, just kind of go into neutral rather than, even that's better than worrying about them. Like, you have to let them go and let God take care of it. You can't just sit and worry and fret about it all the time too. My child's on drugs. They're going to probably overdose. I don't know what to do. I can't force them to stop, because that don't really help either. No, you just have to really let it go. And I know it's not easy, guys. I'm not saying, oh, that's easy. Especially when it's like your brother, your son, your daughter, your partner, your parent, or your bestest friend in the whole wide world. It becomes hard. But I don't know.
Yep, it's not easy, you guys. All right, mystery caller Sean says, will my wife and I be moving or staying in our condo association in the next 5 years? We're 61 and 67. So when will we be moving?
I think you're going to maybe stay there, Sean. I don't know. Let me see on full cards.
So I'm just using my pendulum, and I'll show you what I got. So will Sean and his wife be moving in 2026? Will they be moving in 2026? And that's my no. East and West is no. Will Sean and his wife be moving in 2027? And that's a no. Will Sean and his wife be moving in 2028? And it's going yes, and it's going yes pretty strongly, very strongly. So it looks like, 3 years. Sometime in 2028. We're officers in the association. Looks like 2028. I just said moving. If you'll be moving. So if you're moving, you'll be leaving the association. That's what I see. How about you, Mark? And let me switch you so we can see your cards. Oops.
Well, I feel like it's kind of more your choice than just happenstance kind of a thing. I feel like if you want to stay there, you should stay there, but be clear on what you want. Like, are you looking to move? I don't feel like it, but so choose the outcome you would like. Here we are, we're in our 60s. We're not really looking to move, or if you are, that's good too, but choose what you want. So the reason I'm saying that is I get the star. So, make sure you're wishing for what you want. Is the old focus on what you want, what you don't want. And I also get the Ace of Cups. So I think you can have it the way you want it. Just, align with your choice. If you haven't asked the universe to align with you, that'd be a good thing. Particularly if you're kind of worried about having to move and you don't want to at this stage, and you don't know how stable the condo association, all that is. However, I do get the Hierophant, and then you said, yeah, well, that I would go along with, mystery caller. It says Spirit told us when we tell you to move, listen to us. Well, yeah, that'd be good. But that seems to be about avoiding, some kind of weather or some kind of that kind of thing, climate issue that you might need to move. I don't know what state you're in or whatever. So I would resonate with that. But other than that, I think it's up to you. Also, they give me the Hierophant, which talks about you guys being on the board or whatever that is. And that, so you're in kind of a good position. it would be more your choice to go, I feel like, rather than being, you know, kicked out, asked to leave, or that kind of thing. Now, if like 3 years from now, there's weird weather events happening and your guidance is saying maybe we want to relocate, well, I'd probably follow that, you know, because I don't know, we'll see. But as we go forward, it does feel like Mother Nature, the weather, climate change will be showing itself, and there might be some moves or changes because of that for some of us. So that part kind of resonates with me. Anyway, what else, Jean?
Well, I just double checked and I got it, even though with or without you being officers in the association, I got that there's some movement around 2028. So who knows? Maybe
Yeah,
you'll win the lottery. Maybe you'll move to Paris. Who
right.
knows? You never know. You got to keep your he's saying Indiana, Fort Wayne.
So you're in Fort
Just
Wayne, and
this or something better, is
yeah,
what you want to ask. This or
that's right.
something better. Keep your options open. It's really, there's no limit. They say the sky is the limit. Now there's no limit.
That's right. So that star card was pretty much that key, and what's what Jean's talking about too. You know, choose what you want and hold on to that. Don't feel like you have to do something. I don't feel like Spirit's saying get out now yet to you. Do you guys? I don't think you're getting that yet. Anyway, Sean. Somebody want to know about these cards. These are called Mystical Melodies.
Mm.
They are fun. They're kitschy and just fun. Somebody's asking about. They look fun. Yeah, they are a fun kind of goofy deck. Oh, of course, my favorite card, Ten of Swords. Here's the Ten of Swords in this deck.
Aw,
It is a fun deck.
absolutely.
It looks kind of beat up, but that's the way it comes. Like, the cards look kind of dirty, but that's printed on there. They look all funky a little bit. Yeah.
So Brady says, the woman who raised me, did she give birth to me? Her name is Patricia. So is my mom my real mom? Is my mom my birth mom? Was I adopted?
Yeah. Can we
Or
have
it
that
could have been, oh,
first?
sorry.
What was
I
your
don't know.
mom's first name, or your adopted mother, the lady?
Yeah. The woman who raised Brady, her name is Patricia. And I don't know if there was surrogacy back then.
Yeah. Hmm.
So is Patricia your sister? No.
See, Dad's true love was in my life until 10, and that is who I look like.
That doesn't make sense though. It's hard to yeah, it's not making sense that so um there is something going on there. There is something a little different, a little wonky, a little
Yeah.
not on the up and up. Is it's something about a sister. Is there is does Brady know his true mom? Yeah. Is Patricia Brady's true mom that gave birth? Yeah, I'm getting a yes on that. I'm getting that she is, Patricia is Brady. And I know that you, I can't explain the resemblance. Um, but it's just, I do see Patricia is your real mom. Oh, you believe you have a half sister too. Maybe that's what I was picking up. My family moved far away for a couple of years. Yeah.
So,
No.
story like when you
Mhm.
were born, your father and Patricia were together. Is that the story you're told? You know, that you were their kid, you were born to them, they were together as a couple. It sounds like he's had more than one. Right. There's something a little weird about it. Something
Mhm.
a little bit odd. I don't know exactly because I feel like I would have got things like, the Empress kind of birthing. Um, but where would you have come from, though? So the first card I pulled was this Knight of Cups. And so what my brain tells me when I'm looking at this is like kind of picking you out and taking you home. So that kind of gets me in that realm of maybe I didn't physically birth you, but I picked you.
Mm.
And look, that's the one. Can you get that one? I'm gonna bring it home. So I'm wondering about that. That's the card that's
Mhm.
kind of throwing me a little bit where I'm going, Now, that isn't necessarily the meaning of a Knight of Cups. Um, it could be, though. It's like bringing love to something that needs it, like a knight riding in to rescue. So there is that energy in there somehow. But I'm wondering how it would come to pass. Unless you were unless Patricia knew who the mother was and she was trying to help her. Hmm. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, that makes sense, Brady. That thing. And spirit likes to work that way sometimes to give you an odd coincidence. Like, why in the world did I get that word? And now when I looked it up, look what that means. That's those kind of things always speak to me. I feel like she raised you as if you were hers, though. So it didn't seem like there wasn't gonna be shared with you. That was the story, and we're gonna stick to it. Sounds like there's a little bit of stuff going on. I don't know. I just didn't get very good. I didn't get like, yes. I got something's up. So I think Jean did too a little bit. So
Yeah, I was picking up something about the sister, and I was also picking up that something wasn't on the up and up, but I did get that Patricia is your birth mother, I guess, several times in several different ways.
good.
And it may be something different. At first I thought that she was your sister, or that your sister was your mother, and do you have like an older sister? And you said you had but it's just there's something just not right.
Or could you be Patricia's sister's child?
Right.
Like she took care of her sister. I don't know. There's a little something about that. So when you start talking about sister, I'm thinking, but I don't know. Patricia might not even have a sister. I'm going to ask this too. Was Patricia, I forgot our person's name.
Brady.
Was Patricia Brady's birth mother? Wait, first of all, Pan, are you here? Would you do the rods? Are you here? Yes, thank you. Was Patricia Brady's birth mother? Was Brady adopted, so to speak? What are you doing? You're not answering. Okay. It said yes, but it went slow, which makes me think it wasn't like an adoption like we normally would think, or where you went through the steps or something. That's giving me more of that energy. I'm just going to help out my relative and raise this as mine kind of thing. Now, this could be completely, that's very interesting. So again, do you think Patricia, was Patricia Brady's birth mother? Go to neutral, please. You're getting on my nerves. All right. Do you think was Patricia Brady's birth mother? It won't go yes. Because I feel like she had you right in the beginning, kind of. It doesn't feel like. So it's almost as if it was, because it had her right from the very beginning, had you. So I don't know. That's pretty interesting.
Brady's real name is Lynn.
Oh, Lynn.
Her first name is Lynn.
Yeah.
I think that makes a difference.
Yeah. Do you have an aunt or something that might know information on this? A relative of Patricia's, I'm wondering. Seems like somebody knows about it. That's not mom and dad. Like there's another person that has info or something. I'm wondering.
Now I'm getting a yes on the love child. It makes a difference. Yep. I'm getting a yes on the love child. And it's what it is that to Patricia, you are her child. And I feel like that it was a convoluted but it was done out of love and necessity. And the thing is, secrets, the open adoption and open, and if somebody would have said, my sister is really my mother and my mother is always my grandmother, it's okay as long as you don't keep it a secret and make it some sort of, hold it against me and not let me know. Let me know when I'm mature enough to understand. And that's where the the deceit and the holding back and not knowing is where the injury comes from. It's not that it happened. Things happen, and people, take care of relatives, family all the time. I mean, it's just who we are. Brady said she's going to get that DNA test.
Yeah, and the secret could have been kept because they didn't go through a process that you normally would do. So like there's no adoption papers or something like that. It feels like that's why we kept it. It wasn't so much that, to keep it from you. It was kind of to keep it from the world or the government or whatever it is. We did this without going through channels, kind of a thing. That's kind of what I'm getting.
You're right. Secrecy is betrayal. To a certain extent, when we come to a certain age where we can understand things. But yeah, being up open and upfront, and you can still be open and upfront and explain more as we get older, as we are able to understand, you know. It's just, and it's society because they're afraid of what the neighbors are going to say. They're afraid of how people will treat you if they know. So that they did do it out of, to protect you. But I think that keeping it that way is just difficult. Oh,
I had to kind of keep it in the family. It was kind of kept. Here's that 4 of coins. We had to kind of keep it confined here, so we didn't let it go out. Okay.
All right. Thank you, Brady. Thank you, Lynn. And next is Michael Dell. And after Michael is Cindy Barr. We're going to keep along this. So, Cindy, stay around and say hi.
And a big shout out to all you people out there doing, the march and stuff today. Oh, look, Lois is saying the DC protest is massive. So I felt like I read it on it a little bit last night, and it felt like it was going to keep growing. It feels like it's a good thing. I'm so happy it's happening. It's happening all over, even in my little tiny town. There's one, and this is a small, very rural. So I'm glad to hear that. Thanks for sharing that, guys, because I haven't got to tune in and see how it's going.
Okay, so Michael says, I'd like to hear from my pop who's left his garments in 2022. What's your pop's first name, if you don't mind? Thanks, Cindy.
Hi, Karen. I got your email, sweetie. I'll be looking into that later today. So let's look at Michael. What's your dad's name? Mark? Oh, is that what you just asked?
Yeah.
Same as me, Mark. Okay. I thought you were just saying hi to me, but no, you're telling us that's your dad's name. Okay. 2022. Hey, Mark, what's going on?
So your dad's coming through and he's showing me a big giant circle, and it almost looks like those roller coasters that go upside down, or those amusement rides. It looks like there's a tube, but it's as big as like a roller coaster, and he's showing me this big giant tube. So I don't know if you know what that means, or if that means anything to you, or if I'm trying to describe something that sounds like something else. I'm not sure what this is, but that's the first thing he came through with. He's sending you his love. He wants you to know that he's okay. He's showing me himself where he was either losing weight. He's showing me his pants are baggy, and like around his waistline. He's showing me. He's saying, "Look um, how baggy these are around me," and he's saying that he's no longer ill, and he's saying he is in a very good health and almost like tip top shape. He's saying, I think that he really did care for himself most of his life. And he's just coming through, letting you know that he's back to his old self. He's very conscientious and about his appearance and his health. He's showing me he liked to eat cereal. I think he thought cereal was healthy, or he's showing me he ate healthy, like grape nuts or something. I don't know if he ate grape nuts. I haven't heard of that cereal in ages, but like he liked to eat healthy. He was conscientious. He watched his weight and his health, and I feel like he was strong in his youth. And he just wants you to know that he is this way again. He's also showing me angel wings, and he's letting you know that he's with the angels. There is also a long-haired woman there with him, dark long hair. Looked like a younger woman with him. I'm not sure if there's a younger woman with long dark hair who's with him. And he wants you to know that that he is no longer in pain, and that he is safe, and that he is well, and that he is able to hear you and feel when you are missing him and thinking about him. When you think of him in your heart, he's saying he is in your heart, and he can feel when you think of him and when your heart hurts for him. And he just wants you to know that he's not no farther than a thought away, but he wants you to know that he's with other family members. And I feel like there is some he's almost showing me like futuristic type of scenes. So I'm not sure if he liked what do you call that? Some sort of space, or I'm not sure if he was interested in that. Like futuristic type of space, and it's like sci-fi, I think, is what he's showing me. I don't know if he likes, and he may just be showing me this to let him know. Yeah, see, you guys said sci-fi, good. To let me know. Oh, geez. And Michael says sci-fi lover for sure. That's why he was showing me that, Michael. And he died from cancer. Okay, I'm so sorry. So Michael was saying yes. Okay. Your dad just wants you to know that he loves Star Wars. Yeah. Well, he's there now. It's almost like all of his dreams are coming true, have come true, and yet he's still able to be here with you. So don't worry about him. And he's really, he must have said yes about being fit and being healthy, that he's shown me. And I have not ever uttered the word grape nuts. So I don't, maybe that's what he ate, but he really did try. And he showed me his belt, and he's moving his belt like, look at how loose it is. And he wants you to know that he is right beside you, and he is there for you. If you need anything or want to talk to him, he's right there for you. Look, he took me to see the first Star Wars. You know, there must be a Star Wars thing that I didn't know what that big round thing is. It must be a Star Wars reference that I didn't get, because he kept showing it to me. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. That's his way of connecting and letting you know that that's him. How about you, Mark?
Well, he's pretty talkative. He's kind of telling me like lots of different things. He, let me see. What are you saying? I'm going to say he was pretty, like, he liked science fiction and all that. But he was also kind of practical, or I would say, like, you know, taking care of the family, doing dad stuff, like that. And there was a big realization when he crossed over. He says, I was greeted with love and kind of this oneness energy. It was a great kind of, it was like a homecoming. And he was a little surprised by it. Like, you know, he loves science fiction and stuff like that, but because sometimes spiritual and metaphysics can seem like science fiction too, but he didn't quite focus in on that as much as he would like. I feel like he thought, I wish I would have explored more specifically my connection to source while I was on Earth. It wasn't that he ignored it, but he feels like he would have liked to have focused on that more before he died, instead of, so he'd have like a feeling of it before going, instead of, oh, look, what a surprise. Oh, he was very metaphysical. Something about the crossing, though, was really surprising to him. And or it was like I thought, and it was quite exciting over there on the other side. So, he don't want you to worry about that. Even if he was suffering, it led to a good thing, which was moving to the other side. He wants to remind you while you're here to keep focused on that metaphysical kind of stuff that maybe you inherited from him a little bit. He'd like you to even form a kind of a stronger partnership, the Three of Pentacles. So, working with spirit to affect your practical life, like having more of a one-on-one partnership he'd like for you to do. Here's that Two of Wands, spirit energy, working together, coming together with spirit, I'm going to say, while you're on the earth. So he says that time always pays off. It's not wasted. Just the more you interact with that when you're on the earth, the better it is, he says. Like, go ahead and start that while you're in form. Don't wait till you get to the other side to go back to that, right? He's still encouraging you to do that. He watches over you all the time. He talks about inheritance, but I feel like he thinks that you're part him. So not so much talking about money, but you might have inherited something like that too. But he also feels like you inherited a lot of him. Like he identifies with you, or he sees you, he sees himself in you. That's the way. And in a way, with this Ten of Pentacles, which is a lot of times, that inheritance, that will be there forevermore. Like, he's going to continue to be with you. He'll always watch over you. He'll always be supporting you from the other side. He shared things with you when he was alive. He liked that you listened, picked up on it. He will continue to be with you as you move forward. It's like he left that part of himself, like in a will. It's kind of the way he's showing me, to you. So it's like he gave a part of himself to you, and you'll carry that with you. And he's happy about it. He loves you a lot. Do you have a sibling? I feel like he can communicate with you, Michael. So if you sit down and get quiet, he'll probably talk to you if he hasn't already. He would like to make like sort of a greeting, like a manifested greeting from the other side, sort of a signal or sign. You might have already had that, because he's talking about that now all of a sudden, like kind of giving you a sign. It probably has to do with somehow nature, to show you. So either he's already done it, or he's going to, like right after this. Yeah, okay.
Absolutely. And I feel that as well, that when he's around, when you feel his presence, he wants you to trust that. It's not just your memory. It's not just your imagination. He wants you to trust when you feel his presence, or when things remind you of him, that's when he's around. And he wants you to sort of get used to that and have that as an open dialogue. And not that you're bothering him, and not that he doesn't want to interfere with your life. He just wants to be there, have that connection with you. And he also is telling me that you were either brothers or best friends in a past life. Like, you guys have been together in past lives before, that this union is a soul union, that you will be together again and again, and that you were before, and that this is it's more of just a father-son sort of bond. There was something more to it. Like you guys sort of respected each other and spoke to each other with such equality and such respect and equality. And like you helped him as much as he helped you. It was very symbiotic, this relationship. And he's just letting you know that he's always there. And now that you're connecting to him here in this reading, in this live show, he said there is like an opening, and he wants you to work with that opening, work with that vibration, and to continue this. And you can either continue this by writing from your dad, and maybe sit down and try and write, once a day or once a week, and see if there's something that can come through writing. But he wants you to know that he's there, that he's able to communicate with you, and he wants to help you. He wants to reassure you and be a coach, but he doesn't want to cross the line, that boundary, that he does not want to interfere. So it's important for you to get to a spot or a space where you're quiet and you ask for him to come in, or say, whatever it is, but just make your parameters so that you can develop that. Oh gosh, we were samurai together in a past life, they used to say. You know what? I wouldn't doubt it. I would not doubt it.
Yeah. Yeah. And plus,
there's a bond there for sure.
Jean's head, she gets stuff like, oh, past life together. Mm-mm. And then you just happen to have a story that my dad used to tell me. We were samurais in the past, so that's not a coincidence. That's really spirit energy, and he wants you to continue forward. He doesn't want, like he says, he wants you to do you, but he's going to keep being with you. And like, here's the thing. He says, my legacy carries on through you, but I want it to be you. I'm still there with you. I'm a part of you, but I want to see you blossom in your own way. And I have the joy of being able to kind of ride along and sort of live vicariously through what you do beyond. You can go beyond me. He says, I don't want you to be me, but I want you to be you as fully as possible. But also, you learn things from him. I would say about spirituality and stuff that, he's glad you guys had that, and he wants you to continue with that. Do better, more than he was able to do. And actually, he did pretty good, I think. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He used to say I'm a late bloomer. It's never too late. And when the frequency and vibration in your life, in your awareness, on earth and in humanity works, and you're at the right place in time in your life, it'll happen, it'll enhance. But I feel like you are being called to. He is very urgent with that message. So keep those lines of communication open for sure. Thank you, Michael. And thank you, Mark. Mark on the other side and Mark here. Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, very good. All right. So Cindy is next. And after, let me see. So is Christine R still here? So Christine R, if you're still here, just say hello. Be after Cindy. And Cindy says, wonder if my cousin Carol is really my half sister.
Hi, Cindy. There's Christine R.
Thank you.
Is Cindy's cousin Carol.
And then after Christine R, Fran Baker, if you're still here, say hello. All right. So Cindy Barr, wondering if my cousin Carol is really my half sister. You mean the same dad?
That's what I feel like, but I don't know.
No, same mother. I'm getting. She says, my mother always made a huge fuss over her when she visited. She's 12 years older than me. Oh, well,
Same mother, but you're thinking you have different fathers.
no, she said different. Yeah, same mother, different fathers. Yeah,
Okay.
I was thinking same father.
I was too. I was going the other direction. So you grew up as sisters, but you're wondering if you had different fathers.
No, you grew up as cousins, and she wanted to know if it's her same, if it was really her sister.
Yeah, but how could you grow up as cousins if you had the same mother? That's not.
She wanted to know if her mother was really Carol's mother, and gave Carol away to her sister, and then had Cindy because she was 12 years older.
Oh.
And I think that honestly, Cindy, I don't think so, but I do think that your mom and Carol are have had past lives together, have a special soul bond, because when Carol was born, your mom was young, and Carol was everything to her. She loved her, followed her, nurtured her, rocked her, played with her. She was like her tryout kid, and she and Carol had such a bond that when you came along, she wanted the same for you. I don't feel that you're sisters, but I feel like your mom has a very strong bond with Carol because of the age, the influence, and the love that your mom had for her and always wanted for her own child. But I don't see any where, and it's not that she doesn't have a soul bond with you, because we all incarnate with our soul family. It was just the time and the influence that Carol was there for your mom at the time where your mom really needed some stability, or something that would make her feel useful and appreciated, this kind of, whatever it was in your mom's life, you know what I mean? um but I do feel as though you're cousins.
I do
Yeah.
too. I don't think you're sisters. It feels like no.
So then she wants to know, did my aunt adopt her at birth from your mom? No, I don't. Yeah, it is tricky.
Yeah, because like maybe she wasn't old enough to raise the first one, and her sister stepped in to help, like that. I could see, and then when you came along, she was in a better state, a better place that she could
Yeah.
raise you.
Trust your instincts, but it's not always the case, and I'm, for some reason, I would tell you if I picked it up. Is Cindy's mom the same as Carol's mom? I keep getting a no on it. But I feel as though there was a different type of a bond there. It's not that it was her own daughter. Um, yeah. But it happens a lot, and it could have been. So, you getting anything else there, Mark?
I don't know. It's like a little. I'm not getting a really clear answer. In general, I feel like you're probably cousins. Yeah.
I'm just looking to see if okay, she did say that. All right. Anything else, Mark?
Where's Carol's father? You say Carol's olive skinned. Does she still live with? Is her mother, your aunt, still with the father of her? What happened to her father? Where's the fathers in this? Because there's something weird. He passed.
She said he passed.
Like something like maybe she got pregnant and I don't know, they weren't married. Something odd went on back then. I don't know. I'm not getting as clear as I'd like it to be, but.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much, Cindy. Christine R is next, and after Christine is Fran Baker. And thank you guys for your patience here. And Christine says, does my grandma, Jeanette Ryan, who passed away last month, have a message for me? I'm brokenhearted and want to hear from her. Aw, so sorry for your loss. She's telling me that she's young. She's coming through as being like she passed sooner than expected. Like I don't feel her as being like in her late. She had some life yet to live, but she passed. She said her body wore out. Not sure if she had some. I feel like a lot of tiredness, and I'm not sure if it was like congestive heart failure or something in her lungs, or something that made her really, really sluggish. And she just, I feel like it was something she's been fighting for a while. Like she had a good fight, but eventually she couldn't fight anymore. She feels young. She's got like short brown hair, not short, but shorter, like to the ears. And she doesn't want you to worry about her. She's saying that because she was so out of breath and exhausted and sort of like in a state before she was, in the illness took a lot out of her. And she's saying that was only the body that went through that. It wasn't her. It wasn't her heart. It wasn't her soul. It was her body that sort of fatigued and was not able to sustain. She says her spirit was always strong. And that's why everybody had such hope that she would continue on, because she had a very lively spirit, and that, it wasn't like she was I don't feel like she lost her mind. I feel like she had all of her memory, all of her mind, and knew everybody. Um, it wasn't that. It was the some sort of, just felt like her body couldn't go on. But she said, I have a very strong spirit, and so do you. She says, I am fine. I feel like she almost was like a matriarch too. She's saying, I am fine. She's over there with her sister. She's saying they're sisters. There's some other women over there that she is with. And she's saying that we are she's making me feel like she can take a deep breath now. So I do feel like it's something in the chest. But she's saying that we're alive and sort of like breathing and vital and strong and vibrant. She's saying that don't think of her in the weakened, ill state before she passed. And she's saying that her spirit that was there, that everybody knew was so strong, is still strong. Her spirit is her spirit. And she's saying that you too have a strong spirit. And she's saying it's what's inside that counts. And she wants you to know that she's okay. She made it over. She met family. She's with other women. I think it's her sister and her mother. But she wants you to know that she's okay. She's saying that it'll take you time to acclimate to her not being here in this world. And she's saying she wants you to she wants to give you some of her stuff. Did she give you like, there's something, there's something precious, like either a box or a comb and brush set or something that she loved, that she had, that was pretty, that she loved to look at, that she wants you to have. I'm not sure if there's anything of hers that either will be given to you or has been given to you, but she just wants you to remember her this way. She said she's going to come see you in your dreams as well. So, oh gosh. Yep. Okay. So she was the matriarch, but one of her sisters, all but one of her sisters are over there. Yep. I saw a couple of ladies there with her. Yep. Oh, she was bedridden. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yep. She's got a very, very strong spirit there, Christine.
Yeah.
How about you, Mark? Mm-hmm.
Well, she talks about in the transition, after she transitioned, she felt great. She was all back to young, clear, strong, back to herself. And that was great. She wants to communicate with you. She says, I know how to do that from this side. So we get the high priestess. I can kind of step in. There's that moon in there. So I think she'll visit you in your dreams, number one. So it's whether or not you'll remember it. She may have already been there. But she says, I can communicate with you and I'll send you communications. I am going to commune with you. So I like this. There's the Queen of Cups. She's kind of looking into that cup. But we got these look like little bee fairies kind of up here flying. There's a little mermaid. There's an octopus. So she's going to communicate with you one way or another. She might do it in the form of sending you a bird, a dragonfly, a butterfly, something like that. It'll stand out though. So she's not beyond using that. They've told me this time and time again, that they can align with different parts of nature, and nature will carry through a message for them like that. That's what I've heard that over and over again. So I feel like that's something that might be coming for you. Like Jean, there's something about something she had that she'd like for you to have. Now, the fact that she had dimension stuff probably means a lot of her estate or anything had already been sort of handled, but it feels like there's still some more of that might be going on as far as inheritance or estate that's still kind of being figured out. But I feel like she wants you to have something. I don't know what it is, but so a lot of times from the other side, they'll give me this 10 of Pentacle cards, and they're usually talking about leaving something behind or something physical that you get, Pentacles. The only other thing I'm going to ask about, just because it's kind of on my mind, are we expecting a new baby somewhere? Like, I think it would be her great grandbaby. Okay, my brother said she left her in the end. Nothing. Yeah, that's this energy. The Two of Swords, that's the brother acting like trying to keep information from you. She's saying, though, that you were supposed to get something. That's what I hear. But I'm wondering about if maybe one of her granddaughters or grandsons is expecting a baby, or if there's a baby on the way. I'm only saying that. Okay, my cousin who is caring for his friend, that's what it is. So this is the Queen of Swords, but I never get into Queen of Swords, somebody holding a baby. That's not really ever in that card. And look, there's this little baby, and here we come down from heaven. So it was definitely like she's aware of this soul that's coming in. She can see it from that side. She's kind of watching in a way. She can kind of be grandma to it on the other side. So that's interesting. And I thought you were going to say, yeah, somebody's about to have a baby. So, that's the weird thing sometimes that Tarot and Spirit does to me. Like, this is a card you get all the time, but I would never go, oh, there's a baby coming from the Queen of Swords, But in the way this is when I say the picture sometimes will change my interpretation. This is like, there's a baby on the way. I see it up here in heaven. See how she's up in the clouds. I got it in my arm. I'm watching over it to make sure this birth goes well and all that. Love it.
That's
I
cute.
think that's a way to confirm too that's her that's talking about. Not like if you just said no, there's no baby. Well, then I would have went, oh, okay. And plus, I almost didn't even bring it up because it seemed like, well, what? Anyway, I love the way Tarot and Spirit works.
It is amazing, isn't it? I love that.
It's really always, and it never stops. It's always like that.
Wow. Oh, wow. Beautiful. Well, thank you very much for that, Christine. And after Christine is Fran. After Fran is J.M. Wallace. If we have time, we'll see. We'll see how we go. I want to do everybody, Mark. There's so many good questions here.
I know. Somebody says they keep hearing Buttercup. Well, she's right here and she's snoozing. So it's not. Just being a little good girl. And the other dog's here too, of course, as always. My little Buttercup.
You're welcome, Christine.
So we're looking at Marilyn, who's Fran's sister. Okay. Marilyn. You didn't know little Buttercup's name? You just heard Buttercup. That's my little baby. We're all very snoozy because it's so rainy and dark outside. That's probably what I'd be doing if I wasn't doing this. I'd be snoozing.
So I do get, Fran, that you two were very close. I feel like you talked a lot and did a lot of the same things, hung out a lot, spent not just holidays together, but like, long weekends or things. I don't know if you used to vacation together. She's just showing me that you two were friends, and if you could hang out together, you would. Like you enjoyed each other's company, and you relied on each other for support in your family. I'm not sure if your parents passed a while ago, and it was like you guys were all you had. But she's saying that that she's still your best friend, and that she's grateful to you for your support and for your sacrifice, and you feel like half of you is gone. She's feeling this, and I don't think she's your twin, but I just feel like you guys had such a good relationship and a close relationship, and you guys went through a lot together. And it was your worst fears that one of you would go. But she just wants you to remember all the good times, all the really silly laughter. She's showing me, you guys, I don't know if you used to drink back in the day, but you used to drink and get really, really laughing and laughing, like really, like you would cry and pee your pants laughing. Like you guys would just laugh and cut up and have so much fun and get so silly, and it would rile up all the family, and it made everybody so happy. You had this joy and this happiness about you, and it was you would search for things that would make you guys laugh. And she's saying, remember these good times together, remember these beautiful moments, that the moments in between the important dates. She's saying that it's really important that every day it's the unimportant times, it's the not special times that we were together, that something special happened. She's also showing me that you two there was something that happened in a car, that you two did. I don't know if you hit somebody and ran because you didn't want anybody to know. There's like some sort of a secret, like you guys have a pact together that well, either she did something or you did something, and you guys helped each other cover up. I mean, it was just innocent. Um, the incident that happened when you were younger. But she's just saying that remember all these good and crazy times. So I'm looking for you here, Fran. I do see one little. You see.
Yep.
She seems like she had open heart surgery at 92. She has appeared to you in visions. Wow. Were you two really close, and did you two used to hang out together a lot? Were you two a support to one another? I just want to make sure I don't have somebody else's sister here. I don't see anything else. I didn't see anything. Hard to connect to her. Near death? No, not necessarily near death. Just when you were younger. She just wants you to know to remember the good times, remember the fun times, remember the crazy times. She's saying that this is what she's reliving right now. There are all of those days, those younger days when you two used to be together and hang out together. I see sort of like cookouts or, backyard picnics and stuff. But she's showing me that you two would be together and laugh your butt off. So what do you have there, Mark? I think.
Well, I feel like she is looking kind of like at your guys' sisterly relationship through time. I feel like there was always a strong love there, but you didn't always see eye to eye on everything. And that, you were different. You had different choices and things like that. And, you would argue like sisters, be at odds with one another. Sometimes, she'd make you really mad sometimes, and you'd have to go through it. It was like this sister relationship that was based on love, but also there was learning that happened because you two were sisters. And not always did it feel like, oh, joyous day. It was like things that you helped each other learn. So in that, she's saying, we were meant to be together. There was no mistake that we were sisters. Even though I feel like sometimes you guys felt at odds with each other. Not like that you approach things differently sometimes. Was she the older one? I feel like she thinks, in a way, you kind of managed better on the earth. You were sort of better at doing the things that you do on the earth, like family and stuff like that. In some ways, she felt like you managed some things better than she. So she gives me the magician card, but she feels like you were better at making magic than she was. Sometimes she would get in her own way. I think sometimes her mental body wasn't as supportive of her as it could be. So that would be like, negative thinking, stuff like that. But it was, you were meant to be together. Here's the strength card. Two of you together, it was sort of, was no mistake that you were sisters. It wasn't always just wonderful. I mean, I could see that you might like not speak to each other for a little while, but then come back. Oh, her kids are not communicating, right? So then again, it's so funny. Every single time that we pulled on a loved one today, they brought out the inheritance card. And so here it comes again. There's some kind of little legacy, or the kids are fighting or something about, the estate or whatever it is. She's a little concerned about that.
I can't tell what is the legacy or the inheritance card. I can't tell what it is.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's the 10 of Pentacles again.
Okay.
I changed decks though, but it's another 10 of Pentacles. And usually,
Okay.
They'll give me this card a lot of times when I'm reading, mediumship, and they're still thinking about their earthly possessions or what they left behind. And that maybe there's some conflict about it that we haven't quite worked that all out yet. So they usually show me that because they're seeing that, they're noticing that. So I don't know if her kids are arguing about it or something. But you two, in a way, yeah, she could drive me crazy. Yeah, like that. I get that. And she knows that too. And she says a lot of times, I was the one, sort of. She thinks you were better at handling stuff than she was. And I feel like sometimes her mind, her mental energy would do a number on her and make her act differently than she wanted to. So there's that 7 of Swords, that kind of thief in the night, or grabbing onto your mental energy and, kind of stealing away the positive thoughts. She was older and stubborn. Yeah. And leaving the other ones. Oh, yeah. So that. But, so she kind of looks over all that, but she goes through all the things, though. We were very strongly bonded. I feel like she says we were meant to be together. We purposely wanted to be sisters in our souls. We wanted to grow up together. We weren't ever going to be carbon copies, but we were going to work with each other throughout, in a pretty long time, a long time together. But I think the two sisters came here together on the earth to work stuff out together. She thinks, even though she was the oldest, in a way you could have reversed, because in some ways she acted younger. Not younger like she was more naive or something, or gullible, maybe something like that. You were a little bit, you were more like the older sister, basically, and she sometimes acted more like the younger sister, even though it was a flip-flop. I kind of got that right off the bat. That's when I asked you who was older, because it seems like you didn't really follow like the roles that you might think. The older sister might be more like this, the younger sister might, but you kind of flipped that. Anyway, she loves you a lot.
I think maybe responsibility.
Right.
She
Oh,
never
yeah.
took responsibility and was more, yeah. And laid a lot of things on you. You took responsibility. And I think that's what she looked up to, was your ability to be responsible. And even though you were the younger one,
Yep.
a little bit of, yeah. Yeah. Thank you so much, Fran. It was so nice to meet your sister, and we're so sorry for your loss. And what an amazing soul she was. Yeah, or is for sure. So next we have J.M. Wallace, and it's up to Mark. Mark, is this going to be our last one?
Yep.
Okay. This is our last one, y'all.
I'm going to have to get something to eat before my next thing. Yeah.
All right. And J.M. Wallace says, I have a coworker I don't think I can work with anymore. Am I leaving or will she quit? I feel your pain, J.M. Wallace. I feel your pain. I feel your pain. And the only thing that we can control is our own decisions, our own energy. And I used to wish for somebody else to leave an office, because she was so on the edge of, she would do everything wrong and was always on the edge of being kicked out. And I thought, can I stay here long? Because I love the job and I love the other people. It was just that one thorn in my side, but we can't predict or make our decisions based on what somebody else might do. It's almost like that lesson about what we can control and what we can't control. And no matter how much this person looks like they might be leaving. Like I had another friend of mine who stayed in a job for like 5 years, and every year this woman would say she's retiring, and she's like, I'm going to stay one more year because so and so is retiring. And the woman, now my friend left, and the woman is still there and said she's retiring. Right. So you just don't know. You just don't know. It's, yeah, the JM was saying exactly. Yeah. You just don't know. And I think what it is it's one thing, maybe you can understand why she is the way that she is, and understand that this is a lesson for you in tolerance and maybe compassion, and agree to disagree, and to say, I'm really sorry you feel that way, and try to distance yourself and not let her push your buttons, not let her get a reaction out of you, not let her ruin your day. And if you can coexist with opposition, you find your strength. And you see that when you do live with opposition and you can still thrive, you're almost there is a wisdom that comes in. There is an awareness that comes in, that she has no power over you. She has no influence over you. And there's nothing that this person can do or say or that can affect you, that you're stronger than that you have a boundary and a protection. If she is involved with your everyday work, that might be just a little bit different, but you can always agree to disagree and say, I'm sorry you feel that way, and just walk away. There's another guy, Anderson. I'll look him up. I think it's Anderson. I'll look him up. There's another guy that he has amazing language to use when you're in a difficult situation. Not Anderson. There's another guy. I'll find him. But he's Jefferson Fisher. Jefferson Fisher, you guys, if anybody wants to know how to deal with conflict, or to, I'm going to put his link in here. Oops. That's not, let me take that out. I didn't copy the right thing. Let me see. Jefferson Fisher is his name. copy. And he's wonderful, and he gives you really good advice on how to deal with conflicts and how to speak. Because once you get the language of what you can say to somebody who's being like a nudge to you, and just saying, I agree to disagree, or, I'm sorry that you feel that way, is that was not my intention. And just walk away knowing that it was not your intention. No matter how they might make something up or be such a drama queen, it really is empowering to see what it is that you can, how strong that we can be in the face of opposition. But there's a lot of people going through a lot of difficult things, and it's not for us to be walked on or kicked around. But if we can just maybe understand that they may be going through a worse situation than we could ever imagine outside of the job. Perhaps or perhaps not. You're the only one that really knows. And JM says it makes my job much more difficult. Yep. But jobs, if you love your job, if you're doing well in your job, if you can be transferred in your job, she is customer facing. So when she steps away, I have to stop my job to do hers. I can't let customers wait. Right. Right. You do you, and it's about control. There's nothing other people's bad behavior is not really our job to fix. It's a, unless you're her direct manager, but it doesn't sound like it. It sounds like it's a coworker. But you do you, and understand that what goes around comes around. And if she's meant to learn a lesson, her lesson will be taught to her in the manner that the universe sees fit. And but it's also a learning opportunity for you to see if you can hold her in a light that is compassionate and doesn't make you crazy. Or if it's something if it's so uncomfortable, maybe it's spirit's way of having you nudge out of that position and to find a different position. Maybe there's a different position that is better for you. But it's better to take care of the problem where it is, because if you leave because of a problem, the next place you go to, sometimes you'll find that same problem. So dealing with people and incompetence and neglect and irresponsibility, there's a lot of things that we have to deal with in life. And sometimes when we learn how to deal with it and how to not let it affect us, that gives us this strength. So I can't tell, you're the only one who knows if it's your lesson or if it's your motivation to move out. But just some things to consider. How about you, Mark?
Yeah, well, when something like this comes up for me, you guys probably get tired of me saying this, but my first step would be go to the creator and say, this is not fun. And I would like this energy changed or shifted. Talk about it. It's so negative. I just don't want to be around it. Is there some way we can bring some resolution and light to this situation? Whether that means I move to a different department for some reason, or she quits, whatever it is. You don't even have to know, but I would like to focus on more light here in this situation. So, I want to focus on what I want, not what I don't want. So that means don't go to work all day long in your mind battling with this person and the fact that you're in this position. Oh, woe is me. This is not fair. That just makes it stay longer, because what you focus on is what you get to do, right? So try your best to focus on what you want, not what you don't want. So even when it's right there in your face, within, choose, I'm focused on the light, not on this, until it resolves itself. Because the truth is, we do create our own realities. And sometimes it's just in realizing this isn't serving me. Let's fix this. The universe goes, yeah, great. Mostly we needed you to realize that wasn't serving you. And now that you have and you've come to us, it's easy to shift that out. So, it's not that you're not learning something from it. You are, but you also might learn that I don't need this every day. I don't really need that energy. It's not good for me. Don't like it. So the universe will get behind you and help. This person in particular is not a great communicator. She's or he. You're not the only one that doesn't love being there with the person. Others have that same, I wish I didn't have to work with this person today. So she has a lot of 5 of wand energy, or he. Every time I say she, is a wait.
She. It's a she.
Okay.
She did say she. Yeah.
Okay. It's that energy. What 5 of swords for me usually means bullying, ego energy. I don't care if my words or actions hurt you or not. It don't really matter to me. I don't care that you feel less when you're around me. Actually, I like it. So that's kind of the way she goes. And you're not the only one that notices it. It feels like soon she might find herself having to defend her actions at work. Because she don't have like a big fan club, I don't think. Feels like she's been there for a while though. But it feels like maybe the business or whatever it is you work at, they're realizing that energy that this person kind of functions from is holding the business back. It's like it's preventing it from expanding further or getting more customers. You've kind of put a lid on it. You're keeping it stuck in this one position. And I think it's becoming clear that some way this person does that. So there is light at the end of the tunnel. So keep focusing on the light. This is the Sun card. Even when you're working in the midst of, there you are at your wheel, you're working, you still focus on the light. Even if it's dark as pitch, you still do. You don't, you have to be persistent and stick with it. Even before the change happens, you still stay focused. You're not wishing her harm. You're wishing the best outcome for everyone concerned. Constant feeling less than you when you're with them isn't good for you or them, whether they realize it or not. It's not. So you want the energy change that will suit you. The universe says, yeah, there's a positive outcome. Let's stay focused on it. Don't kind of worry about how it's going to work out. You also get this Page of Swords. I don't know. She's not the boss, is she? What is she? It feels like she may get a reprimand or something. Or maybe she's going to move on or something like that. Don't give up. Just keep focused. You never know how it will work. But you can say, I just don't like this energy. I don't want to be around it. I went through this quite a bit at the zoo because even though the animals loved me to heaven and back, I had a great relationship with all the animals always. Not so much the people, particularly I got along with the other animal keepers and everything, but not so much the bosses. They didn't care about the animals as much as they cared about themselves. So that was always a little bone of contention. And occasionally it would look like I was going to have to go work under one of those that I particularly, that just constantly did these homophobic kind of things to me and stuff. And I was like, oh no, that just makes it so miserable. My focus isn't on them usually anyway, but I don't want to be in that energy. And would you help if it's possible? I'm just looking for clarity and something better. I would like this to be changed. This is not something to look for. And then lo and behold, that person would be reassigned. Or I was just there for a minute and then they moved me again. So it didn't last, it would change. And it didn't mean I had to just try to force it or, wish harm. I just have to keep focusing on a positive result for me. That's what we can do. We can change our reality in the midst of a chaotic dream. We can wake up in it and change it. That's the power, changing it. So it's not just about, oh, I can wake up and change this because it's better for everybody. You don't want that kind of energy. That's not really good or productive. And the universe will balance it out, will help to balance it out because they're looking at you. It's you. Even though there's other people involved, we're looking at our life. How can I make a change? That might mean that I'm no longer face to face with this person. Been there, done that. That's all I needed to do that. I want to move to something else. So, it is about us creating our reality. I know it can sound like, really, Mark? Is that even possible? It is. Mostly it happens on automatic pilot and we're not participating as much as we could in it. But in this, that's you, stepping up, acknowledging your partnership with the creator and saying, let's make more light to the situation one way or another. It could also be that person just has an epiphany and all of a sudden completely changes their ways. That's a possibility, as much as she gets fired or she gets another job or she gets sick and goes on, illness, or she might have an epiphany and decide, oh, maybe I need to be different with people. That's possible. So you don't even really have to decide what it is. You're just still focusing on a positive outcome, right? Okay. You don't have to lose your job because of this person. Especially not right now when jobs aren't that easy to come by just currently because of all the baloney. So, don't feel like you're being forced into something that you don't necessarily want to do or it's not even, anyway.
All the best to you, JM, and all the best to your coworker. I hope everything works out for everybody involved.
Yeah.
Thank you so very much, Mark. This was amazing. And look, Franz, you're so cute. You two are great together, she says. It was so much fun. Yep, Mark and I have been together for a couple of years now, and I love doing our shows together. And this flow was really beautiful. Thank you, everybody, for being here and for asking your questions. And Mark will be back later today at 4 p.m. Eastern. And this is his Ask Him Anything day. So we need to let him go get some nourishment. And so he'll be back and ready for you guys again. Go on over to Mark the Spirit Whisperer. If anybody's on my channel and has not yet gone over to subscribe, please do. I think he's working on trying to hit 15. Did you hit 15 yet, Mark?
I'm like 14,999. So I need one person.
I think it's showing 15K. I don't know if that's, you'll have to let us know.
Up and down. It went to 15 and it was there for a couple of days and then it went to one left. And so it's been there, but it might have gone back up. I checked on it yesterday and I asked Spirit, I want to go to 50. I don't want that 999. I want the 15.
Yeah. So if Karen just checked it. Karen says,
I know, keep jumping up and down. That's why I'm always a little hesitant to go, yippee, because there's a little bit of up and down that happens sometimes.
It is. It is. So if anybody's watching here and you haven't gone over and subscribed to Mark, please do go on over and help him get way over that 1,500 goal of his. And congratulations, Mark. And I wanted to, Mark will be back later today on his channel, Spirit Whisperer, and Ask Him Anything Day. And he's back on Mondays and he does animal questions with Debbie Spirit, Freebird Spirit on Mondays. Right. And that's at 2 p.m. Is that correct?
That's right. And this week it's on my channel. I'm hosting this week. Yeah.
Oh, great.
We alternate.
Great.
1 week she hosts and 1 week I host.
And tomorrow I'm going to be on with Ginger Faye. We're going to be talking about the Egyptian pyramids. You know, that new discovery that they had? We're going to do some tarot and some psychic work and see what we can find out about the Egyptian pyramids and the discovery that they found out under what was underneath the pyramids, just to see what we can find out. So if you guys want to join us, come on over to Ginger Faye's channel, and that's tomorrow. I think it's at sorry, it's at 2 p.m. tomorrow,
Cool.
Sunday at 2 p.m.
I was
And
just recently watching a thing on YouTube about in the Grand Canyon, you know, they're way back, they discovered these caves in there, and they had all these hieroglyphs on the walls, like Egyptian-like. They weren't exactly, but that's what they most resembled. And of course, there wasn't supposed to be any people here at that time, and in America. And these were in like big cave systems that went way all out and all this stuff. But now they've made them off limits, so nobody can go there. Ever since that person discovered them, the government swooped in and closed it on and everything. But I don't know, that might be interesting to look at while you're looking at the Egyptian. I wonder if there's any connection with that. Anyway, that just came up to me when you were talking about that. I go, oh yeah, I was just looking at that this week. Not at the ones you're talking about, but that whole time period and, you know, the peoples here then.
yeah, we did an amazing investigation about the Nefertiti bust. They found a bust during a dig, and we were just going to try and figure out if it was real, because people said that the man who found it made it up or whatever.
Yeah.
So we did an investigation, and we found out so much more about her life, you guys. It was amazing, the stuff that came through. So now ever since then, we're like, let's do more Egypt investigations and stuff.
Cool.
But the Grand Canyon and those hieroglyphs, that's definitely something that we would love to investigate. And really, it takes you away from this world, this environment, and it sees where we are.
Like a happy, joyful distraction, something else to think about. You know, I agree with that, and I'm all about it.
It's lots of fun, you guys.
You know, it's interesting. It's fun to explore and look into things like that. And I think this is a great time for distraction too.
Yeah.
Positive distraction, because we're still focused on, you know, light and love and finding out the truth and stuff. It's cool. I love it.
Well, if anybody's interested in a private reading with me, you can reach me at sunpsychicjean.com. Also, I'm hosting a psychic study practice group where I teach you a exercise, demonstrate the exercise, and then you go into breakout rooms and you practice this exercise. It's every Sunday and Tuesday, and I have the link in my community page, which is now called Posts. And if you're interested, or you can just go to my website and click Contact Jean and put psychic study or practice group, and I'll send you the information about that there. But it's for the whole month of April, and it's $25 for the Sundays and Tuesdays in April, and it's just one price for the whole month. But we have a really good group going, and if you like to practice and you like to learn about psychic practices and techniques and demonstrations, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. All right, everybody. Well, thanks again, Mark, for being here. And I love reading together. And it was a beautiful day, really beautiful. Nice combination of questions and readings. Yep. So
I know. And since we collab, you know, on the regular once a month, you know, I don't know, our energy is just already ready. You know, it's like we just are together in it. I like that because I like to read with other people.
It's lots of fun.
And so we're in sync, kind of, I think, anyway.
Yes, absolutely. I love it. All right, everybody. Have a great weekend. Take care now. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys. Love ya.
Thank you, everybody, for watching. Your support is greatly appreciated. If you enjoy this content, hit like, share, and subscribe. Remember to click the bell to be notified of future videos. Thanks again. Bye.